Have you ever wondered what it truly takes to not just live, but thrive well into your golden years? Imagine reaching your 80s with vitality, independence, and a joyful spirit. If you're between 70 and 80 years old, or you care for someone in that age range, this video is your key to unlocking a fulfilling and empowered life. Stay with us until the end to discover the 8 essential habits that can transform your later years into the best years of your life. You'll learn how to maintain your health, keep your mind sharp, secure your finances, nurture meaningful relationships, continue learning, embrace enriching hobbies, and cultivate a broad and compassionate heart. Don't miss out on these invaluable insights that can help you or your loved ones live a longer, happier, and more independent life. Let's embark on this journey together to ensure that every day is lived to its fullest potential. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Now, let's begin. 1. Your body is still in good shape. To be able to take care of your own daily needs, whether it's preparing a simple meal or walking down the street without assistance, is something that should be deeply cherished. We often don't realize how precious our health is until it starts to fade, and that makes us take moments like these even more valuable. The ability to live independently and care for yourself is not something to be underestimated. It's a blessing, a true privilege. As we age, we come to realize that health is the greatest blessing of all, particularly for the elderly. It is the foundation of everything. Without it, all the money and material wealth in the world seem insignificant. Being able to eat a bowl of vegetables or prepare a small meal for yourself is so much more meaningful than relying on someone else to feed you. Sure, having a caregiver can cost tens of thousands of dollars every month, but there's something incredibly empowering and fulfilling about being able to nourish yourself without anyone else's help. It's an act of self-sufficiency that builds dignity and reinforces your sense of self-worth. Good health doesn't just allow for a more comfortable life for you. It also means you aren't a burden to your loved ones, especially your children. No one wants to feel like they are a burden, and that's something that resonates deeply within all of us. The thought of relying on others, especially on our children, to manage our daily needs is a thought that often weighs heavily on the heart. It's an emotional reality that no one ever wishes to impose on those they love most. Taking care of your body, maintaining your health, and living independently as long as possible can help preserve not just your quality of life, but also the emotional well-being of your family. Imagine the peace of mind that comes with knowing that you are doing everything in your power to stay healthy and self-sufficient. It's not just about the physical aspect. It's about preserving your sense of dignity, maintaining your independence, and ensuring that you don't unintentionally cause unnecessary stress to those who care about you. There's a deep, emotional satisfaction in knowing that you're not a burden on your children or loved ones. It allows you to live with peace, pride, and a sense of accomplishment, even as you grow older. Ultimately, we all hope for the ability to age gracefully, without becoming a source of worry or stress for those we love. Being able to take care of yourself and live life with a sense of ease and independence is truly a blessing. It's a gift that many, unfortunately, don't get to experience, and one that should be cherished with every passing day. 2. Your mind is still sharp and you can see through people's tricks. As we grow older, one of the most incredible gifts we retain is the sharpness of our minds. It's a priceless treasure, something that allows us to see through the trickery and manipulation that others may attempt. It's truly empowering to possess the clarity of thought that enables us to discern between what's genuine and what's false. Unfortunately, not everyone is so fortunate. Many elderly individuals, despite their life experience, can become vulnerable to deceit. With age often comes a sense of trusting others, sometimes more so than we should, and this can leave us open to exploitation. Too often, I see elderly people who, for one reason or another, become muddled or distracted, and in this state, they fall prey to scams. They may be lured into purchasing dubious financial products or unnecessary health supplements, sometimes through aggressive advertising or manipulative phone calls. These sales pitches are designed to tug at their heartstrings, promising security, health, or a better future, when in reality, they are nothing more than empty promises, crafted solely to empty their bank accounts. It's heartbreaking to witness because these financial hits can be devastating, especially for people who have spent their whole lives saving for their twilight years. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. What's even more tragic is the emotional and psychological toll it takes on them. Many elderly victims of scams don't even realize they've been tricked. Their sense of self-worth and trust in others can lead them to ignore the signs that they've been deceived. Worse still, they might continue to make decisions that harm not only their well-being but also the financial stability of their families. Often, they feel too embarrassed or ashamed to admit they've been taken advantage of, so they don't seek help. They might even try to hide their losses, compounding the damage and making it harder for their loved ones to intervene. The whole situation can become a vicious cycle of guilt, regret, and confusion. It's incredibly disheartening to think that after 70 years of living, someone might still be vulnerable to these predatory behaviors. And while it's true that cognitive decline can set in as we get older, there's a difference between genuine confusion and simply pretending to be befuddled. When you reach that age, you might feel as though you've earned the right to slow down, to let go of some of the mental clutter, and perhaps even pretend to be a little less sharp than you are. But that doesn't mean you've lost the ability to protect yourself or your loved ones from harm. You may choose to be more relaxed or take a step back from the hustle of life, but that doesn't mean you should allow anyone to take advantage of you or strip away your hard-earned savings. I believe that as we grow older, we deserve to feel empowered, not victimized. It's essential to remain vigilant and aware, even if we choose to slow down and enjoy our golden years with peace of mind. After all, we've lived through enough to know that trust is earned and not freely given. The wisdom we've gained throughout our lives should be our shield against those who seek to exploit us, and we must hold on to that strength, no matter how old we get. 3. Your finances are still adequate and you don't need to ask your children for money. When it comes to finances, one of the greatest feelings of security is knowing that you have enough to live comfortably, without having to rely on anyone else, especially your children, for financial support. There is something truly liberating about having your means to cover your needs, without feeling the weight of dependency on others. The peace of mind that comes with financial independence is, in my opinion, one of life's most precious gifts. It allows you to live with dignity and a sense of self-respect, knowing that you can take care of yourself, regardless of the circumstances around you. It's not necessarily frightening to have extra money that you can't immediately spend. It may even feel like a small luxury, a cushion of comfort for unexpected situations that may arise. However, what is truly terrifying is the thought of being alive and having no money to live on. The desperation that can come with financial instability, especially as we grow older, is something that keeps many people awake at night. There's a deep sense of vulnerability when you realize that your survival might depend on the charity of others. To me, it feels like a loss of autonomy, a step into a life where you no longer have control over your fate. While it's true that elderly parents can always ask their children for support in times of need, I can't help but wonder how long that can go on before it becomes a burden. It's not just about the financial strain it might put on their children. It's also about the emotional toll. If a parent is constantly asking for money year after year, it can lead to feelings of resentment, frustration, and even guilt in the children, especially if they are already facing financial challenges, like dealing with debt, unemployment, or other responsibilities. It's heartbreaking to think that a parent might have to rely on their child for survival, but sometimes that is the reality of the situation. That's why, to me, having a pension and a small amount of savings as you grow older can make all the difference in the world. It offers a sense of relief and assurance, knowing that, at least for a while, you won't have to burden your loved ones with your struggles. It's not just about the money, it's about the peace of mind that comes with it. The elderly who have managed to put aside a little for their future can face the coming years with a sense of stability, free from the anxiety of constantly worrying about where their next meal or bill payment will come from. They can maintain a sense of independence and, perhaps most importantly, preserve their dignity. Ultimately, I believe that financial security in later years is not just about surviving. It's about living with a sense of ease and comfort, knowing that you have the means to support yourself, to make choices, and to face life's challenges without the crushing fear of dependence on others. And while it may not guarantee happiness, it certainly allows for a more peaceful and fulfilling existence, which, in my eyes, is something worth striving for. Fourth, your spouse is still around, and it's your original partner. There's something incredibly powerful about growing old together, weathering the storms and basking in the calm, and knowing that through it all, it's the same person by your side, supporting you just as you support them. Annette, who goes by the name Lania, is truly a remarkable woman. She's over 70 now, yet her spirit and energy remain boundless. She said, almost casually but with a touch of pride, "I'm over 70, still riding an electric scooter to take the kids to school, buying groceries, cooking, doing laundry, cleaning, and then cooking for my spouse." The way she said it wasn't with any sign of exhaustion or complaint, but rather with a deep sense of pride in her accomplishments and the life she has chosen to lead. It's as if every chore, every responsibility she shoulders, is a reflection of her love and commitment, not just to her family, but to herself. And as she continues, there's this quiet but undeniable strength in her words. "My spouse enjoys life while I work hard. Is it tiring? Is it worth it?" She doesn't ask for validation or sympathy. She asks out of genuine reflection, almost as though she's questioning her limits and weighing the value of everything she does. Despite the daily grind, there's an unmistakable sense of satisfaction in her voice. She's lived a life where these tasks, though demanding, are part of a bigger picture, one where love, devotion, and selflessness play central roles. And while some might wonder if she's worn out or if it's all too much, Lania doesn't seem to be asking for answers. She knows. She feels the tiredness, yes, who wouldn't? But there's a deeper understanding that these sacrifices, these acts of service, are all part of something much greater. It's not just about the work. It's about the life she's built, the family she's nurtured, and the bond with her partner that, even after so many years, remains steadfast and unshaken. Her voice carries a mix of quiet contentment and pride, as if she's saying, "This is my life, and it's worth every moment, every effort." And perhaps in her tone, there's an unspoken truth, that even when we feel exhausted, even when the weight of it all seems unbearable, the love and fulfillment we gain from our relationships and our lives make every sacrifice seem worth it. 5. Your spouse is still around, and it's your original partner. Through all the ups and downs, all the twists and turns that life threw at both of you, it's your original partner who remains the constant. That person who was with you in the beginning, who witnessed the raw and unpolished versions of each other, and who chose to stay despite all the imperfections. It's easy to forget how extraordinary it is to have someone who has weathered the storms of life alongside you. Someone who has shared in your joys, your heartaches, and your growth. Sometimes, we take that steady presence for granted, but in reality, it's one of the greatest blessings life can give. To know that you still have that deep, unshakable bond with the person who knows you inside and out, who has seen you at your best and your worst, and still chooses you every single day, is a gift that shouldn't be overlooked. In a world full of fleeting moments and relationships that don't always last, having your original partner by your side is something truly rare and precious. 6. You are still diligent in learning and can navigate outside smoothly. Even now, you continue to stay diligent in your pursuit of knowledge, and that passion is a beacon of light that not only guides you but also inspires those around you. The way you navigate the world with such grace and confidence, seamlessly moving through the complexities of modern life, speaks volumes about your resilience and adaptability. It's so rare to see someone as determined as you, willing to face new challenges head-on, always with a hunger for improvement. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Reading, we all know, is one of the simplest and yet most powerful ways to advance in life. It's an undeniable truth that books, articles, and even the everyday information we consume can open doors to new perspectives and opportunities. When you read, you progress, not just intellectually, but emotionally, spiritually, and practically. I've seen so many people, especially the elderly, who are overwhelmed by the rapidly changing world around them. Many find themselves lost when they go outside, unable to read signs or understand basic instructions. It's heartbreaking to witness how so many of our older generations struggle simply because they didn't have the opportunity to learn how to adapt to these new technologies. The inability to use a phone to check directions or make payments often leaves them feeling helpless, isolated, and disconnected from the world they once knew so well. And yet, it doesn't have to be that way. I strongly believe that it's never too late to start learning, and it's not about mastering advanced subjects like astronomy or geography. It's about equipping ourselves with the tools and knowledge that allow us to thrive in our everyday lives. For the elderly, learning how to use a phone, how to navigate public transport, or how to make simple online transactions could open up a world of possibilities. These small yet significant skills can give them a sense of independence, agency, and connection to the world around them. We often forget how empowering it is to be able to take control of our own lives in even the most basic of ways. I also feel so strongly that we need to change the way we view technology. It shouldn't be something we use just for idle gossip or entertainment, as many do. Instead, it should be a powerful tool for learning, growth, and staying engaged with the world. There's so much to explore: new social methods, travel tips, career advice, and even health information that could greatly benefit our lives. Imagine the endless possibilities if we began using technology not just for fleeting distractions but to enrich our minds, enhance our lives, and deepen our understanding of the world. Technology isn't the enemy. It's a companion in this ever-evolving journey. And I think that, with a little curiosity and a lot of patience, anyone, young or old, can learn to embrace it fully, just as you have. You are a living testament to the idea that learning is a lifelong journey. Never stop. Keep growing, keep exploring, and never lose that spark of curiosity. The world is always changing, and so long as you're willing to adapt and learn, there's no limit to where you can go. 7. You have hobbies and life is never boring. At the age of 70, life is far from over. It is a time to embrace the beauty of living with grace, freedom, and the joy that comes from simple pleasures. Hobbies, when chosen thoughtfully, can be an incredible source of happiness and fulfillment. Yes, physical strength may wane with time, and engaging in vigorous exercise might no longer be practical, but that doesn't mean life becomes any less meaningful. While some elderly people might find it hard to imagine dancing in the park or participating in group activities, it's important to remember that there's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to how we enjoy our days. Each person is different, and that's what makes life so wonderfully diverse. As we age, we face the reality that not everything from our younger years is feasible anymore. For instance, some elderly individuals may struggle with prolonged sitting, making a game of mahjong or lengthy card games less enjoyable. But this doesn't mean their lives are any less worthy of joy or enrichment. Quite the opposite. Older adults must have hobbies that nurture their hearts and minds, things that make them feel engaged and alive without forcing them to push beyond their limits. Finding hobbies that resonate with them, ones that bring comfort, creativity, or peace, is one of the most important aspects of enjoying these years. It's essential to note that hobbies don't have to be grand or demanding. It's not about keeping up with the latest trends or forcing oneself into activities that simply don't bring joy. Whether it's playing a quiet game of chess, exploring the world of painting, singing along to favorite tunes, or simply sitting by a serene lake and fishing, hobbies are all about personal fulfillment. It's about doing what feels right in the moment, what brings a smile to the face and peace to the soul. I believe that at this stage in life, there should be no pressure to conform to others' expectations of what active or engaged means. There is no need to force oneself to enjoy something just because it's popular or deemed appropriate by others. Instead, we should focus on what truly sparks joy in the heart. Something as simple as knitting a scarf, watching the birds in the garden, reading a novel that transports you to another world, or even taking a short walk with a loved one. These small acts of personal enjoyment can be far more fulfilling than a high-energy workout or a crowded social gathering. In fact, These hobbies provide much more than just a way to pass the time. They are a way to continue connecting with oneself and the world around. They keep the mind sharp, the heart warm, and the spirit engaged. After all, what truly matters is not how physically demanding the hobby is, but how it allows the individual to feel a sense of purpose, discover new facets of themselves, and keep exploring what life still has to offer. When we allow ourselves to embrace the idea that hobbies can be as varied and personal as we are, we open the door to a world of possibilities. And that, I think, is what makes life truly worth living. Finding joy in the simplest things, even when the world around us is changing in ways we can't control. So, whether it's learning to paint for the first time, dedicating afternoons to writing memoirs, or simply tending to a small garden, the right hobby can fill the soul with a kind of peaceful satisfaction that is irreplaceable. The beauty of life at 70 lies not in keeping up with youthful standards, but in embracing your rhythm and your desires, and in choosing activities that nurture and fulfill you. Life, after all, is not about the things we can no longer do, but the things we can still enjoy to the fullest. 8. Your heart is still broad and you don't bother comparing yourself with others. At the age of 8, your heart is still untainted, wide open, and full of wonder. There's a magical, almost untouched innocence that comes with being so young. A purity that allows you to experience life in its simplest, most beautiful form. You're not weighed down by the worries or expectations that come later in life. Your spirit is unburdened by the pressures of comparison, competition, or the need to measure yourself against others. At this tender age, you don't yet feel the sting of envy or self-doubt. You don't look at the world and wish to be someone else, because you are completely content with who you are. You see the goodness in people, accepting them for their flaws and imperfections without judgment. This is a rare gift, one that fades as you grow older and the complexities of life begin to cloud your vision. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. As people age, it's often said that they become more temperamental, that their perspectives narrow, and their minds become smaller. They become quick to anger, less patient with the world, and perhaps even more rigid in their ways. There's a heartbreaking truth in this because as years pass, it can feel as though life hardens you, like a shell that grows thicker with each passing moment. People become less tolerant, more stubborn, and more set in their views. You see it all around you. Older individuals, once vibrant with joy, now often find themselves irritated by the smallest things. They may not be as open to change, to new ideas, or to understanding the feelings of others. Sometimes they even lose the ability to forgive, holding on to past hurts as if they are the only thing left in a world that seems increasingly difficult to navigate. However, the most astonishing and rare thing to witness is when an elderly person defies these patterns. They remain open-minded when their heart still embraces the imperfections of others with a warmth that hasn't been dulled by time. It's a true rarity to see someone who is no longer consumed by resentment or envy, someone who doesn't belittle their children or others around them. When an older person continues to accept people as they are, without judgment, without bitterness, it's nothing short of miraculous. There is something deeply inspiring about such a soul, one that has learned to let go of the ego, the need for comparison, and the harshness that so often accompanies the aging process. To remain kind, to not envy others' successes, and to still see beauty in imperfections. This is a level of grace that most of us can only hope to achieve, and it speaks to a life well lived, one filled with wisdom and love. When you witness such an open, accepting heart in someone who has lived many years, it fills you with awe and admiration. It reminds you of the joy and innocence we all had as children, and how precious it is to preserve that part of yourself throughout your life. It serves as a reminder that, no matter how many years pass, we can still choose to stay soft, to be generous in our love, and to never lose the ability to appreciate the world and the people in it, just as they are. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned today. Life, especially as we grow older, often teaches us to be more mindful, more accepting, and more understanding. We've discussed how the heart, even as we age, can remain as open as it was in childhood, free from the heavy burdens of comparison and judgment. It's rare and beautiful to find someone who continues to accept others' imperfections without envy or bitterness. Someone who knows how to cherish what they have without constantly measuring themselves against others. So, what have you learned from today's discussion? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below with one key takeaway that resonated with you, and let us know how you plan to bring it into your own life. How will you stay open-minded, accepting, and free from the pressures of comparison as you continue on your own journey? If you enjoyed this video and found value in it, please leave your comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss an inspiring message. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.